Church. Barry, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure. Can't wait to talk some ball, man.
All right. Well, listen, I got to fill you in on a little something here. So, my partner is a lifelong Cowboy fan.
What's up, Barry?
Working in the Bay Area, and he's had a pretty good week. But he came in today with the attitude of, "We can't win. The Niners are a juggernaut. We got no chance." And I was just really disappointed in him as a Cowboy player, a former player. Is that the kind of fan you want?
I mean, I get it. You know, we're going against a powerhouse, and we all understand that. But come on, man. Come on now. We got to have a little bit more heart than that, man. We got to ride with the squad, man. I understand they're going against the 49ers. They're loaded, but come on, anything can happen on any given Sunday. We got to have a little bit more faith in the Cowboys than that, man.
Barry, you were a bad boy. I saw every game. But listen, it's the Romo era. I don't believe in Dak. It's McCarthy. So I appreciate you being a former player still working for the team saying, I get that PTSD. Now, Barry, I'm rooting for him, but this would be the game. I'm going to call it, my partner has a saying, the legacy game for McCarthy and Dak if somehow they can pull it off. But, Barry, can this defense stop McCaffrey on the ground?
That's going to be the key. To me, this game is gonna come down to the trenches. You know, which side of the football can dominate the other. And if we look at it, the 49ers offensive line is loaded. I mean, you got probably the best left tackle in the game as far as pass and run protection, or pass protection and run blocking. And I'm talking about Trent Williams. But the defense for the Dallas Cowboys, man, if they can at least, I'm not saying completely stop Christian McCaffrey, because I feel like that's impossible. But if you can at least contain that three-headed monster with McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, and sometimes Deebo Samuel back there, if you can contain that and force the 49ers to rely on Purdy's arm to win the football game, I think it falls a little bit into Dan Quinn and his Dallas defense's hands, because we know they got the pass rushers to make Purdy feel uncomfortable back there. So they got to shut down this run game, or at least contain it to have any type of shot versus the 49ers.
10-year NFL veteran and former Cowboy safety Barry Church joining us. Barry, let me ask you this. As having played safety, now you know the 49ers really want to milk kind of those short and intermediate routes. What would your mindset be as a safety playing in this game on Sunday?
Well, to me as a safety, you would have to be a great tackler in defense, because you hit it right on the nail, man. This is what 49ers love to do. They love to get the ball out of their quarterback's hand quick and let those playmakers do what they do best, and that's get that yak yardage, that yards after the catch. And if I'm being honest, you got two of the best, people to do it in Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, those guys are unbelievable when it comes to open space and field out there. So as a safety, you got to be one of the best tacklers out there. You cannot let things turn from a 5-yard hook or a 5-yard slant into a 30-yard touchdown. I mean, that's exactly how they killed the Seahawks last week, getting the ball into their playmakers' hands and letting them guys make people miss tackles out there. So overall, as a defense, not just from the safety position, but as a defense, they have got to be great tacklers out there, because that's the quickest way to get Purdy confidence, this 49ers offense confidence, is if you let them get the ball to their playmaker and they turn a routine 5-yard catch into a 30-yard game. That'll be, devastating for this Cowboys defense and Cowboys team as a whole. So that entire defense, man, they got to wrap up and bring their big boy pass, because it's going to be physical.
Barry, let me lay this on you. Warren Moon is my favorite quarterback of all time, and we all know that he had to spend some of his best years not in the NFL because they didn't trust black guys to play that position. And I say that to say is I'm rooting for Dak, him being a black quarterback, and for me to sour on him, I feel like you got to really see bad and not believe, and I don't. And I'm just wondering, where are you at in the Metroplex? Because, Barry, I keep my ear to the street. I know a lot of people are doubting the Dak Prescott era, but if they were not to win this game and you lose to Jimmy at home, you lose to Brock Purdy, a rookie, where are we at? Where would you think we're at on the barometer of Dak Prescott is that guy, the Roger Staubach or Aikman?
Well, if he were to lose this game, I also think, it comes down to how he loses. So if they go out there and it's a tight game and Dak had another, wonderful performance like he did last week against Tampa Bay, but it came down to the 49ers making a field goal or something like that, I don't think his legacy or his reputation will hurt as much because he'll have come through with a playoff victory versus the Bucs. He'll have went to San Francisco, one of the powerhouses in the NFC, and took them down to the wire. So I don't think it would hurt him that much. But if we were to go out there and play, let's just say like he did against Washington in the season finale where that was a pure stinker. You're talking about interceptions to the house. You're talking about not being able to find receivers, just looking dazed and confused out there. Then I think he'll take a serious hit because then people will start saying, oh, this guy's inconsistent and he can only come through, when this team has undoubtedly, the advantage as far as talent goes. So I think it'll take a huge hit if he lays an egg out there. But if he goes out there and performs rather well like he did last week, but they still lose the game, I don't think he'll take a hit that bad. I think it'll more affect Mike McCarthy in that regard.
Barry Church joining us on 95.7 The Game, former Cowboys safety. Brock Purdy has played 7 games. He was the last pick in the draft. He's a rookie. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage if you're the Cowboys, that he's only played 7 games so he doesn't have experience, but you've only seen him play 7 games?
Oh, man, look, this dude Purdy, man, he's been playing unbelievable football. I mean, the guy is, 6-0 for a reason out there, or 7-0 for a reason out there. I mean, he gets the ball out quick to his playmakers, like I mentioned. And what he does best that I've seen as of late is he takes care of the football. I mean, this guy isn't making dumb decisions or costing his team. I would say he's a little bit better than a game manager. I mean, I wouldn't call him elite by any stretch of the imagination just yet, but the guy has been playing good football. So, to me, the 49ers should have all the confidence in him going forward as he's shown so far this year that he can manage the ship out there. But to me, for the Dallas Cowboys defense, they got to be able to take advantage of this young rookie. I mean, he hasn't seen every defense that, the NFL has to offer. So to me, you got to disguise your coverages out there. You can't give him the study guide before the test, all right? You got to make sure he doesn't know what's going on pre-snap to where post-snap he has to think a little bit. And that gives your defensive line an extra tick, an extra second, for Micah Parsons and D-Law and those guys to get after Purdy. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to be, those guys making him uncomfortable in the pocket. Because from what we've seen, if this guy has a clean pocket and this guy can go through his progressions with ease, then he can tear your defense apart. So to me, it's going to come down to the trenches. Can Micah Parsons and the crew make Purdy uncomfortable in that pocket?
Let me ask you about your position, the secondary. The Niners got 2 corners, and nobody's been able to make them pay, but they've been slipping a little bit, Barry, but they've been winning. But when you look at Dallas's secondary led by Trayvon Diggs, who likes to gamble, the corner opposite of him it's been like an open revolving door. How confident or nervous are you about the secondary holding up against Kyle Shanahan and this offense?
I'm not going to lie, man. I'm extremely worried. And the revolving door is right. We talk about that corner opposite Trayvon Diggs. Diggs, I'm not worried about. I mean, he's a gambler. He's going to make plays, and I think he's evolved into a top 3 corner in the National Football League. But outside of him, I mean, this secondary has struggled. I mean, we've seen it from Noshawn Wright to Trayvon Mullins, and now they got Xavier Rhodes in there. It's been a revolving door, and I'm surprised that Tom Brady wasn't able to take advantage of that last week. But also, that defensive line made life extremely hard for him to do so. But to me, if you give Purdy time back there, he can make this secondary pay. Because like you mentioned, man, that number 2 and number 3 corner spot that we lost, Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown, those were huge losses. And we got young cats in there right now that they haven't been playing the best. I mean, teams have been able to take advantage of them. So I'm extremely worried about that. That's why I feel like the trenches for the Dallas Cowboys are the utmost importance. And they got to make sure that Purdy's not able to take advantage of those 2 corners on the other side.
Hey, Barry, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Should be a lot of fun on Sunday. We're all looking forward to it.
It should be amazing, man. Thanks for having me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, man.
All righty.
Yeah.